Hello and welcome back whenever you're watching this. And I guess, oh God, what happens when you take a few days off and go away? But then I guess, that was always going to happen. He likes to create a big hoo-ha when somebody is away and can't respond. So yeah, obviously we're talking about Ian Scambert at the Great British Con House, and two video or one section, and then it's easy. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So not channels, is it? Playlists, beg your pardon. So he's now created a playlist called Bullying. Whereby basically he's just stolen all of my videos that I've done and put them on his channel, and he kind of laughs about it. The bullies are working for me. Well, firstly, it's how you determine bullying is the first lesson that we need to have. Bullying comes in all form of manner, all form of ways. I consider what I'm doing is research and educational. So, for argument's sake, with the silver bars, that he is personally stamping himself and illegally selling them because they haven't got a hallmark or been assayed, and I don't consider that to be bullying. It was fact, and I showed you countless facts, a lot, of that. What was another one? Another one was about the coin valuations, where I went through. He was valuing coins at 25 quid. And I actually went through and purchased them and showed you how you can actually pick them up for 3 or 4 quid. Yeah, he's valuing them at 25 quid. I don't deem that as bullying. Again, I deem that as educational. And I've said all along that what upsets me the most about the Great British Con House and Mr. Scambert is that we were all new collectors. We were all new to the collecting at some point. And what concerns me is that a new collector could come along, find his videos and believe some of the nonsense that he comes out with. Or lo and behold, even worse, they could go across and start purchasing raffle tickets, which I highlight time and time again. You have virtually zero chance of winning them because team members are constantly winning, as one of my previous videos showed. So I don't deem any of it as bullying. If you like, it's doing reviews and a review of his giveaways, a review of his raffles. So I don't deem that as bullying. So that's the first thing. Secondly, you cannot go and steal somebody's videos and put them onto your channel. So as of this moment, all of these videos have been reported for copyright strikes and will be asked to be taken down. Knowing Mr. Scambert, he'll refuse to take them down, and YouTube will then step in and just remove them automatically themselves. The funny part is his channel could get strikes against him for it, stealing copyrighted, stealing other people's videos, and they can get strikes against his channel, and all manner of things can happen there. They can prevent you from uploading, they can prevent you from live streaming, or worst case scenario, they can close your channel down. So crack on, Mr. Lambert, you keep on stealing my videos and I'll keep reporting them as copyrighted. So they're the two big ones that I want to deal with. And then finally, let me find this particular video. Online sexual abuse to my wife is a step too far for me. Right, I'm just going to pause you for a second and get to the particular point in the video, and then we'll be back. Okay, so there's a large part of this video that I'm not going to show because, again, breaching data protection acts. He goes on and shows my home address, telephone number, everything else, which again has been reported for breach of confidentiality, breach of data protection act, and again can result in his channel getting strikes against it. But this is the part that I want to concentrate. Online sexual abuse to my wife is a step too far for me. Let's listen.
False name of his on YouTube is Luke Murphy.
Okay, so a false name of mine on YouTube is Luke Murphy. I've never ever in my life heard of that name before. Absolutely cast iron guarantee I have never heard of that name. Previously in this video he goes on about I scammed him out of one of his pathetic little tokens by using a false name. Firstly, the name is not false. The name is a very good friend of mine. He says the email address is false. The email address is not false. The email address is the email address of a very good friend of mine. He didn't want to order it using his own address, so we used my address. He didn't want to give Ian his telephone number, so we put in a fake telephone number. Nothing fake, nothing false, nothing malicious about it. Now Mr. Scamber makes a big issue that he knew this was me all along and blah blah blah. Well, then why send your poxy little piece of junk to me? If you knew that it was me all along, why did you bother to send it to me? It's pathetic, and it really is. I'm sorry, I'm getting angry now and wound up because it's just absolute nonsense. So I own up to having used a false email address, not a false email address, sorry, a friend's email address and a friend's name. Not fake. They are not false, as he will tell you. They are a friend's name. We did put in a dodgy telephone number because my mate didn't want to get hounded with text messages about sharing shit in WhatsApp groups. So we did put in a fake telephone number. Luke Murphy, however, never ever heard of it. But let's go on.
That's one of his pseudonyms, if that's what you want to call them, one of his false names. And he left comments on a video, and the comments...
Right. I leave comments on his videos. Excuse me. I would love to leave comments on his videos. However, my Lighty Collects is banned. No two ways about it, it's banned. I do have another one, I think it's Lighty Poker, which is also banned. So yeah, I cannot leave comments on his videos. So he's assuming that this Luke Murphy is me. So let's go on.
I wasn't too happy with. They were, you know, not very pleasant. And I said something along the lines of, you know, why don't you show your face? Because I do get tired of people that leave nasty comments, but of course they hide behind no picture. So,
which is really quite ironic, because when he paid to have loads of dislikes put onto my video and comments put onto my video, which YouTube did remove, the one thing that I kept responding to all of the comments was, why are you hiding behind fake names? And funny enough, he's saying exactly the same now.
So you don't know who they are, you don't know if it's their real name or whatever. And I said, type back, message, I said, where's your face? He typed back, and I'll show you the comment.
Let me just stop.
Now.
So what I'd like to know is, so the only interaction he has had with this Luke Murphy is Luke Murphy left a comment on his video, and because of that he assumes it's me. No evidence. Like where it was with obtaining this, there was evidence, and I wholeheartedly admit to what I did 100%. Where is the evidence that I am Luke Murphy? Because I've absolutely 10 billion% Luke Murphy is not me. So apparently Luke left a comment. Ian said, show us your face, or where's your face, and this is what was said. Oh, typical bloody thing.
He typed back, between Fran's legs. Fran is my wife.
Okay, so yeah, we can see it there. Lee Murphy replied, the Great British Coin Hunt between Fran's legs. So Luke Murphy had said, oh come on Ian, where's the money, sue the mint, blah blah blah. I can't even see where his response is meant to be. And then they've replied, between Fran's legs. Well, let's clarify a couple of points here first. Luke Murphy 1,000,000,000% is not me, and I'll make this point here and now. I have £1,000 bet, or I am putting here now a £1,000 bet with Mr. Scambert to prove that Luke Murphy is me. If Luke Murphy is me, I will donate £1,000 to the charity of his choice. If he cannot prove Luke Murphy is me, he will have to donate £1,000 to the charity of my choice. That's reasonable. So let's analyse the actual bit of the conversation. Something about where's the money. Right. The Great British Coin Hunt is between Fran's legs, and I can't read what the rest is because I don't think he shows us it. No. He doesn't show us the rest of it. Right, let me get something straight. 100% straight here. I have seen Fran. Okay? I've seen her on camera. I've seen pictures of her. Everything else. Trust me, in this day and age, trust me 1,000,000,000%, there is not one iota of Fran that I find remotely attractive. So there is nothing on this earth that would make me want to go between her legs. Trust me, I could be a lot ruder and harsher about it, but I'm not going to be. There is nothing about that woman that I find remotely attractive. So the last thing on this world, even in a joking manner, I would not want to be between her legs in any shape or form. That is as clear as it goes. Okay, so I don't know what more I can say, but let's just listen to him for a minute.
Now I class that as online sexual abuse.
Right, okay.
That is sexual abuse, and I will not countenance that.
Right, so if you will not countenance that, Mr. Scambert, and you are adamant that that is me, I challenge you two things. Either go to the police and report that as online sexual harassment and let the police do an investigation. And B, I challenge you to the £1,000 bet. Are you man enough to sit there and admit that you've made a mistake? And Luke Murphy is not me. Because this wouldn't be the first time you've wrongly accused somebody. You know, you do seem to have a habit of wrongly accusing people. Let's go on.
And that's just gone way over, you know, any kind of argument that me and him might have had. Any kind of argument that Warren Light and myself have had.
I don't have an argument with you, Mr. Scambert. Absolutely no argument with you whatsoever. I have an issue with you conning and ripping people off. I don't have... trust me when I say I have no feelings towards you in any shape or form, whether that's hate or disgust or... I have nothing like that. Because to have hate towards somebody, to have disgust towards somebody, to have jealousy towards somebody, that means that you must occupy your time by thinking about that person. And trust me, when I switch this computer off and I just go off and do my own thing, the last thing in my mind is you or your pathetic little business that's run by your silly little cronies. Absolutely the last thing on my mind. So I have no ill feelings towards you. I just do not like the way that you are operating. And as I have said in many times, if I can prevent one person or two people from going onto your site and wasting money on your site, then I've done a good deed, and I'm happy with that, you know. So don't for a second think that I have an argument with you. I have beef with you. If I had beef with you, Mr. Scambert, I'd have been knocking on your door. And no, before you go down the road, that isn't a threat. But I would have been knocking on your door if I had beef with you. So carry on.
And followers agree with him and all the rest of it, and people pay him and all of that. Well, all I can say is, when you have somebody putting the boot in and you've got people around him going, go on, yeah, they're all as guilty as he is.
I'm so glad you said that. I am so glad you said that, Mr. Scambert, because what about your followers that come over and leave nasty comments on my videos? What about you or your followers who are sending me junk through the post? So I'm so glad you've said that. You're basically saying that you are condoning that, you know? So I'm glad you've clarified that. Again, kind of dropped yourself in it a little bit.
Anybody, in my opinion, that is enjoying what Warren is saying about me and about my wife and about my personal life and stuff like that.
Right, let's clarify that. I don't talk about your personal life and I don't talk about your wife. Okay? The first time I've spoken about your wife, to be honest with you, and I'll be perfectly blunt with you now, and I'll say it to you now. Your wife, in my opinion, is supposedly a psychotherapist, psychiatrist. In my opinion, she deserves to be struck off. And that is nothing whatsoever against her and how she manages to do what she does. I've had to see psychotherapists and shrinks and that in the past, and I think they are worth their weight in gold when you find the right one. However, I do genuinely believe, as I've said 1 billion times, and you've never been able to prove me wrong, this raising money so that she could give therapy to somebody, nobody ever saw a penny of that. Nobody's ever seen that you gave her that money. Nobody's ever seen that she used that money to indeed give somebody therapy. For her to sit there knowingly that you are doing this, it's a disgrace to me. And I find that highly, highly offensive. And I think that somebody in the position that she holds should be making a stand. Now, your whole business model preys on vulnerable people. Now, you may dispute that, which you're entitled to do. At least two of your so-called team members who spend an absolute fortune, according to you, on your site per month, are both registered disabled and are on disability benefits. I'm not going to name them. We don't need to name them. Yet you allow them to spend £100, £200, £300 a month on your site. That is preying on vulnerable people. People who cannot genuinely afford that kind of money. And for your wife, or whoever she is, to sit back in the profession that she has and to watch that happening and not to say anything, I think is wrong. The way that all of your raffles are performed for that are massively tilted towards a team member winning is wrong. No other company in the world allows staff to enter raffles that they are running, apart from you. And they are massively tilted in favour of your team members, staff members winning them. So again, for a person in the position that Fran holds, and I say, I have nothing against Fran in a professional capacity because I don't know what she's like. But to hold the professional capacity that she does and to watch and actively encourage what you are doing, I find to be totally wrong. And I find that almost pitiful. So that's the only time I bring her personal life into it. Now, if you want to talk, I believe you do talk about it. Let's hear it in a minute.
Sick and evil stuff about me and John. John is dying, my illness, all that kind of stuff. You're as bad as what he is. They are as bad as what he is. That's how I see it in my head. And I will give no quarter for that.
Well, you say you give no quarter for that, Ian, but you actively encourage your viewers to come over and leave shit on my videos. So you are actively encouraging it.
That is a line that's been crossed way too far. And I won't stand for that.
But again, I mean, as I've said all along, apparently you're saying this line has been crossed by this, I forget his name now, Luke fella. But you have no evidence whatsoever who Luke is. You are jumping to conclusions and you are taking 2 and 2 and making 6.
And that is Warren Light. You know, Warren Light is the one who's done that. And I could fill up a video with 2 hours worth of dirty, disgusting messages that I've received from him under his own email address.
Right, and I don't deny that, Ian. Absolutely do not deny that. And how old are those emails? A year? 18 months? 2 years old? Do you want to start dragging up things like that? Because trust me, boy, if you want to start dragging up things like that, I'll drag up things like that you've said about your own customers. You know, I have not emailed you. That's actually a lie. I keep getting your bloody stupid newsletters through, and I reply to them, fuck off sending me your newsletters. So yeah, I have responded to them in that manner, but I haven't actually sent you a proper email for months and months, Mr. Scambert. So again, I think you're getting your wires a bit crossed. But this is what you do. See, now, anybody else whose business was being reviewed in the manner that yours is would maybe take a little seat back and think, do you know what, maybe they have got a point. I don't agree with this, I don't agree with this. Maybe they've got a little point there. I'll sit back and I'll see if I can adjust it here and adjust it there. That's not how you operate. Your modum of operandum is to attack, and to attack personally. And that is what you do. So you go on about bullies here, bullies there. You know, you don't tell anybody about the vile, nasty crap that you were spouting 18 months ago that put me in hospital with a heart attack. You don't share any of that. You know? You don't share any of that. You don't share... And the whole thing, this is kind of what makes me laugh with Mr. Scambert, and that is that he is very much I was going to say a narcissist. He doesn't know the meaning of the word sorry. Even when he's been proven wrong, as he will be with this Luke, he won't come out and issue an apology. That's not how he operates. He will still, even when he is shown concrete evidence that I am not Luke, he will still deny it till he's blue in the face. You know, it is impossible for this man to ever admit he's made a mistake. Ever.
Calling my wife all sorts of disgusting names, comments that he's left all sorts of places, social media, wherever, under his own name, under false names, all that kind of stuff.
Right, I don't have false social media names. I don't have false YouTube names. I have 2 YouTube accounts. 2. I don't use false names and false accounts. If I have something to say, I will say it. Right? The only reason that I possibly would use a different name would be if a channel was blocked me, such as yourself, and you were there openly having a go slating me without any recourse. Then I possibly may make another account so I could come onto the channel and have my say. The one thing you will never ever get from me is falseness. If I've got something to say, I will say it to your goddamn face. You were the coward that blocked me, so I can't say it to your face. And yet you still go and make these pathetic videos.
But I'm not going to bother. This,
really?
all I'm talking about in this vid is just naming and shaming and dealing with a bully who has crossed the line, as far as I'm concerned, in sexually abusing, online sexually abusing my partner.
Right. Okay, so I'm really pleased. We're just going to end it here. Let's go back to... there it was, wasn't it? I just saw it then.
That is sexual abuse.
Here we go. Oh, it's just gone. So, Luke Murphy. So, I'm going to end this video here, Mr. Scambert. And I am challenging you, here and now, a £1,000 bet. You show concrete evidence Luke Murphy is me, and I donate £1,000 to the charity of your choice. Let's put a time limit on it. We'll give you 2 weeks from today. Today being the 2nd. No, yeah, sorry, today being the 2nd. So 2 weeks from today, Mr. Scambert. If you can't prove it, then you put £1,000 to the charity of my choice. Now don't come out with this bullshit that you won't see the video. I know you watch them. And this is going to be titled in the manner that you do watch it. So there's your challenge, Mr. Scambert. I challenge you to £1,000 bet. Are you man enough to take it? So anyway, sorry, I'll stop in there. Thank you for watching. I am ending it there. Sorry that it's a bit of a rant, but some things needed to be said.